Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. I'm going to have a look at a puzzle by Bobo today. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking already in the middle box and seeing a 3-cell cage with a 5 in it and a 2-cell cage with a 26. I don't even know what the rules are. I'm going to find out as I go along. So looking forward to giving that a go. I am actually, okay, first thing I'm going to do is revisit yesterday's puzzle where, as a number of you pointed out, quite correctly, I made an egregious error at this point in the puzzle. So we had green German whispers, orange Dutch whispers, and I looked at this central box and said that that can't be a 4 because that would have to be a 9. And somehow I was interpreting that orange line as green, and that wasn't right. So I don't think this made any significant difference to the next few steps in the puzzle, but I did therefore fill in a 4 there and a 9 here, and that was unwarranted at that stage. So what I should have done was move on to what I basically had to move on to shortly afterwards, which was this cell has to be a 2. You can see 1 and 3. These two are a 7-8 pair. And now this one is 2 or 3 as a result of that, and seeing the 1. Actually, I can't remember now. No, where I ended, so that is all doable. And then I actually had to, in the video, even yesterday, you can check it, I had to basically go to this cell and work out that this red line is connecting to cells with a difference of at least 5, like a remote German whisper connection. And this digit, which can't be 9 or 8, has to be 7, connecting a 2 and a 1. And that is all basically fixed. Then you know this is a 7 in row 2. And at that point, this digit has to be an 8. And now finally, you know that this can't be a 4. So I can resume my course of putting a 4 there and a 9 there and everything I actually did in the puzzle. So my apologies to Zoroish for getting that wrong just by misreading a single line and its color. Now that does happen. We are playing, you know, we're doing live solves. I'm afraid if we make a mistake in the assumptions and it leads to a correct solve, it's very hard for us to actually notice that. Even in the edit, I promise you. And therefore they sometimes sneak through, but we rely on our very kind community to point out what was wrong, and occasionally we will record a little apology like that one that I've just done. Now, let's hope that's not necessary today, but if it is, post a comment, be nice, see if anybody else has posted the comment already and you don't need to, and tell me what I did wrong. That may happen. So don't forget that on Patreon, coming out on the 1st of the month, we have Swipe Right. We're asking you to help out at the Cracking the Cryptic Data Agency and do some matching of profiles. Basically, there's some grids that you have to match together. And we're looking forward to that coming out. There are 8 puzzles in the pack, but there's actually only 4 solutions. You'll see how it works. And we're looking forward to bringing that to you on the 1st of the month. Not as hard as the duality pack. That's what I reckon. And there we go. That's coming out on the 1st. Also on Patreon, Simon's long solves lately, including James Sinclair's TYVM, which is a brilliant puzzle. Also my, I was going to say my dictionary solves, my hard crossword solves without a dictionary as far as possible. They are on Patreon as well, and all the solution videos to the Duality 2-pack are up now as well. What a brilliant hunt that was. And connections videos too. Now that's on Patreon. There's all of our apps, which do feature Arrow Sudoku and Killer Sudoku, but obviously not like this one, because I don't know how these cages work yet. In fact, the arrows clearly are implausible too. Oh, maybe not. I don't know, actually. I might be a bit previous in saying that. Anyway, that is our apps. Fog of War is the latest one and is marvellous, totally expectedly. We've also got our merchandise and SVEN'S Sudoku Pad, so do check those out on the links under the video. But the first link is to Scrambled by Bobo. And the rules are as follows. Normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Now, scrambled cages. Digits can't repeat within a cage. The digits in each cage sum to the number in the top left of a different cage. Aha! All cage sums are different. Well, we can see that if we look at the cage sum totals given. So the cages are in the wrong place. Scrambled arrows as well. Digits on an arrow sum to the digit in the circle of a different arrow. All arrow sums are different. Oh, that's very interesting. Okay. There are fewer cages and arrows than I would have expected for that rule set here. So this might be quite tough. You can check from the video length. I'm just going to plunge in now and say, let's get cracking. So, right, let's analyze. I mean, we've got no given digits. We've just got cage totals and things. So we've got a 28 and a 26 and a 21. Oh no, and a 24. 28, 26, 24, 21. And then the small ones are 5, 9, and 13. Well, no. That one is 5 or 9, clearly. That's cell, which is a whole cage. This one could be 5, 9, or 13, as could this. This could even be 21. Okay, and the big cage number's 28. Right, this is 6 different cells. It could even be 21. Oh. 6 cells, 5 cells, 4 cells, 3 cells, 2 2s, and a 1. Tricky. Okay, let's look at the arrows instead. This arrow, well, not this circle, but this arrow actually, they have to be at least 1, 2, 3 equals 6. Plus minimum 1 and 1 there is giving us a total of 8 or 9 that will not go in this circle, but will go somewhere in the puzzle. This arrow just looks ridiculous at first, but it's a 1 cell arrow. That's not telling me anything useful. This is telling me something a little useful. Minimum here is a 1, 2 and a 1, 2. So the minimum total of that arrow is 6. But really, we haven't learned very much about these arrow circles. All arrow sums are different. How do we solve this puzzle, guys? Maybe we look at this arrow combined with this arrow. Right, if this wasn't 1, 2, 3... that's interesting, yes. Look, those 5 cells add up to at least 15, plus those 2 is 17. Now, that is going to make 2 arrows that require an 8 and a 9 circle. And then this one is going to require a 7 or a 6 circle. So our circles are going to be 9, 8, 7 or 6, and then, well, some others, but 2 of the circles at least are 9 and 8. Can I even use that though? I'm sorry, Eric Benito, I'm not editing out my occasional sips of a drink because it's meant to be a one-take video. I don't know how to use this at all. Goodness me. I tell you what it does mean is I can sort of fill in these digits. They're from 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they definitely include 1 and 2. So these, what did we work out? That this was 15 and 2 1s. That's what we worked out. Sorry, that's very clear suddenly. So, yeah, this whole thing, this group of cells is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quint. Yeah, okay, right. So these other cells in the row are 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now, forget the circle, but let's think about this cage nonetheless. I don't know. At their max, these could be 5, 4, 3. This could be a 9, weirdly. And that would leave this cage to be 24. So this cage is at least 24. This could be a 9 if this arrow was an 8 arrow and this was the 9 arrow. So you'd put the 4, 5 there and the 9 there. I mean, it's weird, but that is how it works. Okay, come on. We've got something done with that quintuple at least. Now, these add up to 6 or 7. So they're only selected from 1, 2, 3. One pair of them at least is a 1, 2 pair. The other, oh, and there is a 1 on this arrow, and there is also a 1 in these 3 cells of Sudoku. So that is therefore the overlap digit. One of these is a 1 as well. Okay, well, I've got some digits in the puzzle. I don't feel quite as bad about myself as I did earlier. Now, there being a 1 there means that's not a 1. The 1 in box 7 is in one of those 2 cells, which looks a little odd in a 21 gauge, but it's not a 21 gauge. It's also not a 28 gauge now, or a 26 gauge. It's not allowed to be the 21 gauge, so this could be 24, or it could be 13. It's too big to be 9 or 5. Now, if it was 24, this would be a 9861 gauge. Yeah, that is possible. It's an interesting puzzle, actually. This I like the conceit. It's a very funny idea. There must be a 1 in those cells. Right, that's changed the minimum total for this cage. These must add up to maximum 10, and that's a maximum 9. That's 19. Now 26 has become the minimum value of this cage. So this is either 26 or 28. If it was 26, these would be a 1, 4, 5. That would be a 9. Oh, these have to add up to 8 or 9. They don't have a 1 or a 2 in. And they definitely have a 5 in. Yeah, I mean, I'm so tempted to write 8 or 9 into this circle, but it's the wrong circle because of the scrambling. That is a 1 now. We've got a 1 there and a 1 there. That is the 1. And one of these 2 is a 2 now. Can either of them be a 4? Yes. If this arrow added up to 9, that could be a 4. Otherwise, it would be part of a 1, 2, 3 triple. This cage adds up to 5 or 9 or 13. I don't know, it doesn't feel very helpful. I was thinking about doing maths on this, but there are so many possibilities for these 2 cages that doesn't feel like the right thing to do. Well, hang on. Okay, this cage, clearly it cannot add up to 28 or 26. It could add up to 24 or 21. 21 seems likely. Could it be 9? If it was a 2, 3, 4, it could be. I suppose that could be a 13 cage then. Yeah, no, there are, I thought, well, actually it can't be 2, 3, 4. That would break this cell. So this isn't 9. This cage is either 13 or 21. And that's interesting. That is interesting facts. This cage is either 5, 9 or 13. And this is 13 or 21. I think there are still too many combinations to actually work out what these are going to add up to as a rump of a sum of 45. Okay, now this didn't have to be a 26 cage. It could be a 24 cage. And if that was the case, if this was a 24 cage, 25, every box adds up to 45. You know that because you've been told the secret before, I'm sure. These would have a 5. Oh, hang on, if that was 24. Oh no, it's 26 or 28, isn't it? If that's 28, that's a 1, 29. Then these either add up to 9 or 8, which is 37 or 38. And this would be 8 or 7. Well, this digit is 7, 8 or 9, based on what the total of this cage is going to have to be, which is either 26 or 28. If that's 4, 5, then this has to be the 9, I think, because... No, I'm not. I don't even know if that's right. I can't work that out in my head. And I don't even know where to go next in this puzzle. Is it this 6-cell cage? No, because that could be 28 or 26. It's not easy. Maybe it's these little ones, which have to be... We have to find a cage that has 5 in. It can't be here now, because 2, 3 would break that cell. It can be here, which would place 5 down here. That's interesting. Or it's a 2, 3 pair there. Now, is there a problem with that? I don't think there is, because this cage could add up to 21 or 24. And I'd forgotten 24 when I was listing out the possibilities here. I think this could be a 24 cage. Oh, I mean, here's a tiny thought. This digit in row 6, column 1, where does its circle go? Because it's not in this one, it's not allowed to be, and it couldn't be by Sudoku. And it's not in those two, they're in the same row. So the circle for this digit is in one of those 3 places, which it's not exactly conclusive, but it's not uninteresting. Okay, let's look at the arrow totals again. So we had 9 and... Well, no, sorry. From these arrows, we had 9 and 8. From this one, we have a 7 or a 6. This is going to have to provide at least a 4, because neither of those digits can be 1 now. Actually, they can't both be 2, or that would... No, they... Yeah, that would put 2 3s on this arrow, which is too many. So it's a minimum of 5 for that arrow. This one is a minimum of... Both of those can't be 1. Actually, that's interesting. 1 is ruled out of both of these cells. So that's at least a 2 and a 3, plus maybe a 1 there. This is at least 6. So this arrow, sorry, not that circle, but this arrow adds up to at least 6. And this arrow adds up to at least 6 as well. So there is a 9, 8, and a 7, and a 6 arrow in this puzzle. Right, and this one does add up to 6 or 7. And that is either a 2, 3 or a 2, 4 pair. And this is either a 1 or a 2 in that cell. Right, well that was an interesting bit of action and a surprise. Now, can we do any more with 1s? 1 can't be there, presumably, because none of these circles can give rise to a 1 arrow. Or, sorry, none of these arrows can give rise to a 1 circle. So there is a 1 somewhere up in the corner. and one of these 4 cells. It's quite likely to be there, but it doesn't have to be. If this was a 2, that would be a 2-3 pair. Then we'd have a 2-3 pair here as well. Now, one of these arrows does add up to 6, and if it's here, then we've got a 2 in one of those cells and a 2 there. That would give me a 2 here by Sudoku. A 2 there, because this row needs 1. Then there'd be a 2 in this cage. And that would definitely make it a 5, well no, a 5 or a 9 cage. We'd have to have a 2 in one of these cells. Ah, where did I start this? I said if this was a 7, no, if this was a 2, I think things go wrong at this point. If this was a 2, there'd have to be a 2 in one of these cells, because this would be a 7 arrow. This would be a 6 arrow, and there would be 2s there and there. It's not going to work, because that has to be a 2, and now there's nowhere to put a 2 in box 5. Good grief. Okay, that cannot be a 2. That is a 1. And that's the 1 in box 3 now. That's very clever, Bobo. Very, very neat constructions. There's a 1 in one of those cells. If there was a 1 here, this cage would have to consist of no 1s in it. At least 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which adds up to 27. Now there's only one cage total bigger than that. It's a 28. So if that's a 1, this is a 28 cage containing 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Oh, that 1 has decided where the 1 is here. Didn't realise that. So I've got 7 1s in the grid and a little X-wing of remaining ones. And I can nearly exclude it. Sorry, I can nearly force it into this cage, but not quite. Now, what about this? Or what about still there's a play between, if this is the 6 arrow, these are both 2s. Then that has to be a 2. There's a 2 up there in that case. This again is a 2. Now there's a 2 here. A 2 in one of those cells. I mean, that does still work. But if this is the 6 arrow, then that's a 2-3 pair. I don't quite know how to use that. But we now know there are a 9, 8, a 7 and a 6 arrow in the puzzle. And 2 other arrows, that and that. What about this one then? They can't both be 2s because there is at least 1 2 here. So the absolute minimum here is 5. Oh, well, that's the max as well. Because we've had arrows of 9, 8, 7 and 6. This must be a 5 arrow. It can't be less. Good Lord. That is a 2-3 pair here. So now we've got a 2-3 pair in column 3, and that's a 4. And that gets 4 out of all of these cells. Now, that is a 3-5-8 pair. Sorry, a 3-5 pair adding to 8, which doesn't go here. But it means this arrow is a 9 arrow, and that's a 2. And now there is a 2 in this cage, because there's a 2 here somewhere. Oh, this is really interesting. That one definitely adds up to 5. We've got our 6 circles include a 9, 8, 7, 6 and 5 now. Sorry, I'm just going to answer Simon and then I'll be back with you. Right, sorry, every once in a while Simon checks in with me about the likely pronunciation of a name that feels foreign to him. And I help out. Sorry, right, we were talking about 2s and 3s. We've got a 2 in one of those cells and a 2 in one of those. So the 2 in box 1 must be up there somewhere. What was I saying? Now I was talking about the circles. 9, 8, 7, 6 and 5 and this digit are the circle contents. So this isn't allowed to be 9, 8, 7, 6 or 5. This is 2, 3 or 4. That's quite surprising. And there's a 2 in this cage. Now this cage therefore is either a 5 cage or a 9 cage. So it's either 2, 3 or 2, 7. Now, since that adds up to 5, that is a 2 and a 3. This can't be 2 2s now. So this is the 7 arrow, and this is the 6 arrow, and now that is a 2 3 pair there as well. And that's a 2 3 pair. So the 3 in box 1 is also in the top row. And this digit cannot appear in this 6-cell cage, because in box 4 it's there, and in box 1 it's missing from the cage. So this cage is missing either a 2 or a 3. Right, the minimum total it can be is 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is 25. So this is either the 26 or the 28 cage. If we excluded the 1 from it now, we'd have a problem. Then the minimum total would be 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which would add up to 32, and that's too much. So we can't exclude the 1. We must put the 1 in the cage, and that fixes the last one in the grid. Good. Now, the other digit that is 2 or 3 in box 4, I think that's going to have to be in the cage. It's not in the cage in box 1 because 2 and 3 are up there. I think it's going to have to be in here, because otherwise, I'm going to do this again, the cage is going to have to consist of a minimum 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which adds up to 31, which is too much for any cage. So the other 2 or 3 is in the cage here. So there's 1, 2 or 3 here, there's 1 here, and this must be a 4. And now the 6 circles are 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 and 4. In fact, where does the 4 go in a circle? This one rules out all of those. This is ruled out by that 4. This is ruled out because of the total of this cage. So the 4 goes here, and we've found a circle. Wow, that's mad, this puzzle. The 4 in box... Oh, this is getting interesting again. The 4 in box 1 is in one of those 2 positions. And now can we force it into the cage? Because if we didn't have... We can have a 2 down here, say. But without the 4, the minimum cage is going to be 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. Which adds up to 29, which is just too many. So the 4 must go in. There it is. The 4 goes in here. And this cage really, wow, it's now got a 4. So the minimum at the moment is 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Which is 25 and well within bounds, 3 degrees of freedom. These 2 cages are the 5 and the 9 cage. That's definite now. And we've got a 13 cage, which could be here or here. It can't be here because 1, 2 and 3 are excluded from this. The minimum digits there are 4, 5, 6. This could be a 13 cage though, so I've got to be careful there. I hadn't thought of that briefly at all. I mean, with a 1 in it, you could have a 2, 3, 7. Oh, this digit is at least a 5. In this column, 1, 2, 3, and 4 are gone. And in this column, 1, 2, and 3 are gone. So minimum here is 4, 5, 2, 1, which is 12. So it could still be the 13 cage here or here. And what's the next one up after 13? 21. Oh, so I should just be asking, which cage can this be? It's not 5 or 9, which are there and there. It's too small for 21. This is the 13 cage. Oh, but hang on, now something's gone wrong. No, it hasn't. Okay, this is the 13 cage, and we can't use 1, 2, 3, or 4 in it. It's either 5, 8, or 6, 7. It is the 13 cage. Now, where I was getting worried is if this isn't the 13 cage, it's not allowed to be the 21 cage because it's got the 21 written in it. Are there any other cages it can be? Yes, this can be the 24 cage with a 986 in, and it must be. And now we've got the 21 cage must be here because this can't be. Oh no, I've got this as well. Oh, have I forgotten a cage? No, I've still got, that was the 24. I've still got 21, 26 and 28 to apportion amongst those three. Well, this is going to have to be the 21 because it's too small for 26 or 28. So this cage adds up to 21. It can't be 6, 7, 8 because we've still got a 4 and a 5 to place in this column. Therefore, there is a 9 in this 21 cage, and either 7, 5 or 8, 4. Therefore, there is a 6 in this row, this column. Oh, by the way, I've just seen a 6, 7, 8, 9 quad here, which means this group of cells is 2, 3, 5, and there is a 7 in those two. So I can take 7 out of those two. Now, 6, 8, 9 here. Oh, 9. 9 is in that cage, so I can remove 9 from those. This must be a 9. We seem to have come down to a 6, 8, 9 triple somehow, which is excellent. And now I can take 8 out of this cage and ensure that it's a 9, 7, 5 cage. Now I take 7 out of this cage, so this adds up to 5. So this is the 9 cage. Oh, I thought that was going to be a 5 to fix these two. It obviously wasn't. This group of cells is 4, 6, 8. Now, 5, 7, 9, 2, 3, 1, 6, 8. This is a 4. That can't be 6 or 8, so this can't be 5 or 7. This cage adds up to 13, I remember. And we found the 21, so we've still got the 24 and the... No, that was the 24. We've got the 26 and the 28 to apportion. It's a clever puzzle, this. 1, 4, 6, 8, 2... 3 is in one of these cells. Oh, we know exactly where it is, given the 2, 3, 5. That's also going to place 5. Then I can place 4 and 7. Bit of Sudoku. Very welcome at this stage. 5 and an 8 there. 9 here and a 6, 7 pair. Hope I haven't made any of those bonehead errors I was describing earlier, but they're always possible. Now, probably doing it right now. Now I've thought to say that. Take 9 out of those cells. That could have been done earlier. 2, 3, 5, 1, 7, 4. So we've got 6, 8, and 9. Now, this is not allowed to be whatever its arrow actually adds up to, which is 9. So that must be an 8. And that finishes that trio. 2, 4, 7 here. And we've put 8 in a circle and 4. The others are 5, 6, 7, 9. I remember they were all max now. That one is not allowed to be 5 and it can't be 9. So that is 6 or 7, which gives me a pair in the row. That also can't be 9. So one of these two is a 9. Yeah, I don't know enough. Okay, let's try and use that 6, 7 pair. The only things left in row 3 are a 5 and an 8. That digit has to go here and be 6 or 7. 6, 7 and 9 are the digits remaining in row 2, and that's now a triple in box 1. So these are from 2, 3, 5, 8. I don't really know what to do with that information. Still seems to be going okay. I'm very pleased about that. Now, this cell. It's obviously not the 4. We've done the 8. It's not allowed to be the 7. So it's 6, 5, or 9. So the 8 in this column seems to only have one location, which is very handy. That fixes 6 and 9 there. That's an 8 and they're not. Well, that got some digits placed. Let's have another look up this column. See if I can spot a single place for some digit. No, but I've got a 2, 3 pair, so that's a 5. And now this isn't a 5, this is 6 or 9 in this circle. So the circle with, oh no, we've done the circle with 8 in. The circle with 5 in is going to have to be in one of these cells. What I should really be doing is focusing on what this adds up to, but I don't want to yet. I'm playing hooky from that. It looks complicated, that's the problem. Up here we have one from 5, 8 and one from 6, 7. Okay, let's have a look at this. It's not an 8 because we've had 8, we've had 4. It can't be 9, so this is 5, 6 or 7. And this one is not allowed to be 4, and we've had 8. It's 9, it can't be. Oh, there's only one circle where 9 can go now, since we got that one. Right, this is a 9 circle. Then we've got a 6, 7 pair in box 1 and a 9. How are we doing on 9s? We've only got one left to write in. No, 2. That's a pity. There's 1 9 there and 1 9 here. The other 3 circles are 5, 6 and 7. Okay, I'm going to look at this cage, which we've only got the really big ones to go, 26 and 28. Oh, well, we know what this adds up to now. I'm such a muppet. 15, 22, 26. This is the 28 cage. This, therefore, adds up to 26. Oh, well, that could be potentially quite helpful. This cage adds up to 26. We've got either 11 or 12 there. So this is 15 or 14. That's a very middly number, isn't it? Oh, we knew we were going to put a 2 or a 3 in it, though, to make this 15 or 14. Yes, that was interesting. We were going to have to put a 2 or a 3 in this. I did that calculation earlier. And that means that this cell is not a 2 or a 3 in this box, and therefore in this column... Oh, I was going to say in this column the only places for 2 and 3 are there and there, but actually no, No, this isn't a place for 2 or 3 because we've got a 2, 3 pair in the row, so they're ruled out. So in fact, that is the place for 2 or 3. And now this one cannot be 2 or 3. And this one must be 2 or 3. And we've got a little pair up there. Now, that gives us a 2, 3 pair in this column and 1, 4, 9. Everything else is from 5, 6, 7, 8. And that gives me a quadruple in row 6, which leaves this being a 2, 3 pair. And now I've got a useful 2, 3 pair in the column. And I can Sudoku it away. 5, 7, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. That's going to fix all my 2s and 3s in the grid, because we remember that these arrows needed to share their 2s and 3s to come to the right total. 2, 3, 2, 3, and here 3, 2. Are there any missing 2s or 3s? Yes, there's one. Are there any missing 3s? No, they're all done. Right, 2s and 3s are complete. Now, I've forgotten what this total was going to add up to, so This one was 28. This is a 26 gauge. And we've got 8 done so far. Oh, I've got a 5-8 pair, so that's 6 or 7. Right, those have to be different digits because they're in the same cage. So those are 13, plus the 8 I had is 21. I'm trying to come to a total of 26. So that's a 5. And that is going to be the digit that seals the fate of the puzzle. That puts 5 in a circle there, and not here. That's now the 8 in the row. 6 and 7 are done. 9 and 5. That has become an 8 by Sudoku. That fixes 5 and 8 up there. This is a very, very nice puzzle. I do like the way this has worked. It's remarkably clever. That 6 is going to sort out all these 7 6s that I've been pencil marking. 7 in a circle there means this circle is a 6. And that works in the cage. And we're very nearly finished now. What a brilliant experience. I mean, this is just really classy stuff from Bobo. Scrambled. And our brains haven't been scrambled. They have been tickled, titillated, and entertained. And that is a lovely puzzle. I really enjoyed that. That's so cleverly done. Thank you very much for watching me do it. And we'll be back with more Sudoku tomorrow. Bye for now.